welcome to the Afters podcast on location at D6 at the Park Casino here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Joined by Northern House studio owners, Bryn.
Hello.
Dom. Welcome
hey
in. How are you doing?
Stoked
Fantastic.
to be here.
So excited.
Yeah.
Mason's in the house.
Still here.
We got your
Haven't
host.
gone fired yet.
We're working on that. He's on probation again. No, I'm just kidding. We are here today at the Evolve Music Event 002, the second one of the series. We have just posted it. We are live on location. We have the whole music industry of Vancouver coming to hang out with us.
The
and I'm
whole
so
Yeah, it's
excited
gonna be amazing.
to bring you guys in. Good things on the horizon. The event is just about to start.
Yeah.
Sebastian is on the decks playing
on
right
the decks.
now.
Yeah.
You guys want to go socialize. We're going to talk to some more people.
Yeah.
We are here with a brand new friend that we're about to meet, and you're going to discover him with us. Julian, welcome. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing pretty great.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
How are you guys doing?
I'm excellent.
Oh, fantastic.
We
Having a
got
bunch of
the
fun.
heater back here. We've got heaters there. It's all going great. We're having a
It's
great
tropical,
time.
but it feels Arctic. So
Yes, I
We're
agree.
still in Canada, so it is what it is. But you produce under the name Who.
Yes,
So tell me who you are.
that's awesome. Yeah,
So clever.
pretty much a couple of years ago, I started making music. Actually, a couple of years, it's already 11 years by now.
11 years, that's
When I
wild.
was 13, actually 14,
Yeah.
I started producing because I like the whole producing world. And I got into it, and pretty much you can say it's a rough hill to go up to. But I guess just every time after the years, I just ended up becoming a good producer and songwriter.
Yeah.
I ended up working with good artists, like famous ones in the EDM world. And that got me where I am today, and I'm now releasing my own music, which is chill house, kind of deep housey.
Very
And
cool.
I'm dedicated to that right now.
Amazing. So if you take yourself back all the way, even before 11 years, into kind of the first memories of music, what do you recall as being like kind of your first love? Like, how did you fall in love with music?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it was probably the Tomorrowland 2011 after movie.
Okay.
That was the one that got me hooked up. I remember it being, I didn't know what a festival was at that time. And just getting to know it and the music that I was hearing, I was like, this is so different from what I used to listen.
for sure.
It just became so different, and it became different that it was just like, I should learn how to make the music that makes me happy and makes me like want to evolve.
I really remember those after movies.
Yeah.
They make you like fall in love with the scene.
Oh,
like,
they
like
really
it's just
do.
such a fantasy. Like, oh my god, and it's not just after movie to a festival. It builds this whole narrative.
It does.
Yeah,
Like that tells stories about the people who go there, and it's all with the
Yes.
music playing, and you see the performances as well.
Yeah.
It,
It
if
takes you
if
into
there was
that
something that was going to
moment.
sell you into the whole idea, that's a perfect advertisement.
That
for
would be
exactly. I couldn't agree more. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
when you watch one of those after movies, it's like, it's just a complete story.
Yeah.
And I think that just made me fall in love with it, because you can actually follow along. You can
Yes.
actually just kind of realize that they're telling a story, and it's just a whole narrative, I guess. Going back to it.
Especially when you're young too.
Definitely.
I mean, I was older when I first, I'm 2011, I was 30.
Yeah.
So like, I'd imagine being 10 and watching something like that, like would be transformative for sure.
for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible how they make their after movies, and even nowadays,
Yeah.
I think even after those years, you can still see the narrative they're telling and the story they're telling. And I think Tomorrowland's always been one festival that kind of like stands out in the fact of telling a story. That's the main thing they do. The artists are obviously a big part, but I think it's mainly the storytelling that
Yeah.
comes comes out.
It
Yeah.
draws you in, definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So are you from here? Where did you move here from somewhere?
I'm actually from Colombia.
Oh, cool.
I started making music in Colombia back in high school.
Yeah.
I ended up failing high school.
Oops.
But
Oh, dear.
succeeding in music. So.
Succeeding in music, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I failed in high school. I was doing high school, and then I guess just to tell a backstory, I guess if it's fine to tell
Yeah,
it.
of course,
Yeah,
please.
absolutely.
If you feel comfortable with.
Basically, what I did was one day there were Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike. Pretty sure you know
Yeah.
their artists,
course,
EDM.
yeah.
Pretty
Big
big,
room,
big
yeah,
room
yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a show in Colombia. And I decided to do the bad thing and sneak backstage.
Oops. Yeah.
And how old were
Didn't-
you roughly?
I was 15.
Oh, there we go.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually came in with a fake ID. I'm not a moment I'm proud of.
Statute of limitations now, guys.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
fine.
Not a moment I'm proud of.
Everything here is all theoretical.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
But I came in and I just pretty much went in. I didn't end up meeting them. I liked them a lot
Yeah.
because they were like Tomorrowland's like kind of like big
Yeah,
deal.
they were kind
They
of
were
like,
the-
yeah,
They were the
almost
big
like a resident.
deal, like the presentation they were offering.
Yeah.
And I didn't meet with them, but I ended up meeting two of the writers
Oh, yeah.
from them.
Okay.
And we got in contact, and they basically just trained me.
Oh, sweet.
And they used to
Cool.
call me like the pet project.
Yeah.
And pretty much at that point, we just started like doing songs, and I started sending them stuff, and they were like, "This is horrible.
Okay.
This is the worst thing we've heard in the last 10 years."
Oh no.
Project's not going well then.
Yeah, and at that
Pet
point is
project.
when you start to think,
Yeah.
should I be doing music or should I be just
Yeah.
Going back to high school,
going
trying
back to
again.
high school, maybe getting a college degree, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I should work in finance, sales, whatever. And these two guys just ended up pretty much just training me. They were like, don't do this, do this. And it got to a point where it just started working out.
There you go.
And I made a song, and they were like, yeah, we like it.
Wow.
We
After-
should send it to them.
Yeah.
They send it to them, and the balls start rolling, I guess
Yeah.
you could
Very
say.
cool.
To them as in
Yeah.
Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike? You
Yes.
sent it to them?
Yes.
Yeah.
I worked on a couple songs for them. I worked on, well, actually, it's been many over the years
Yeah.
because that was back in 2017.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Wow, very cool.
Yes.
That's amazing. So there's so many aspects of this that are just, you can't condense 11 years into 5 minutes, but like what are some of the key takeaways and highlights and lessons that you've learned?
I guess there's maybe three, in my opinion. One is discipline. Discipline. I went to audio school actually because everyone told me you should go still to audio school and learn engineering, mastering, production, you name it. And I think the takeaway from that is just there's so many talented people that are maybe born with it, but discipline usually beats everything out
Oh,
of the
for
table.
sure.
Like discipline
And if you
just
have
gets,
both, then it's even
then it's
better.
even bigger.
Yeah.
But usually the people that have discipline, that have talent are usually
Less
way
disciplined.
ahead of you, and they're usually less disciplined, and I've noticed that. So they used to tell me, Dimitri and Mike used to tell me, just be disciplined. There was this pretty big say that they used to, which was, failure, it's only for the people that look for it.
Oh, I love that.
Which is, if you quit, you're gonna fail,
Yeah,
and
you've already
there's
failed, yeah.
100% probability of it. But if you try to succeed, then there's a 10% probability, and you have to stick with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I
where the
think-
discipline comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the main takeaways I got from them. And then later on, I learned haters, or I guess you call people that just tell you awful things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't matter.
Yeah.
No.
they don't matter. It's just something that happens.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunate
It's human nature.
byproduct
Yeah,
with
there's
it.
a lot of that. is human
exactly.
nature,
Yeah.
and the moment you get there, it's because you
You
actually
succeeded,
have
yeah.
something that is different, and it's something that people can maybe get pissed about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the second one that I got
Yeah.
out of them.
It's actually a marker for success.
Yeah, exactly. And I couldn't agree more. Like if you're getting hate, then that's
You're doing
probably
something right.
you're doing something right.
Yeah.
There's people that like you and there's people that don't like you, but at least you're getting to that kind of like level of people that know you
Impact.
that are
impact.
actually
Yeah.
thinking, I don't like you and I like you.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
And then the third one, I think, is just go with your gut, like go with your instinct. Never lies.
no, never.
I think
does.
after the years, I've done pretty bad deals, like pretty bad record deals,
Yeah.
pretty bad everything.
Yeah.
You notice it's just like go with your gut,
Yeah.
like go with your instinct.
Yeah, because so what you're saying is, sorry to interrupt, but so what you're saying is that your instincts have told you that, oh, there's maybe an alarm bell with this record deal I'm signing, but you did it anyway because you didn't know any better. But if you followed your instincts, you'd know that what happened was a disaster.
Exactly.
What happened, yeah.
Exactly. Like
Interesting.
I think it's easily avoided if you trust your instincts.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then the problem is you're gonna go what's best for you on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
and,
just
and
gonna
that
take what's in
becomes a
front of you.
problem. Like 5 years in, I'm still dealing with a record suit, pretty much like
Yeah.
a lawsuit,
Oh, tell me about
and
it.
it's 6 years,
Oh,
and I'm
dear.
still dealing with it, and it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like it's annoying.
So I'm guessing
very
your
frustrating.
relationship with Dimitri Vegas and like Mike is a part of that journey where you maybe wrote a bunch of music for them and you now no longer, I guess you don't have ownership over it. You didn't make the money you deserved off of it, etc. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. Without, we don't obviously if you have legal.
Battles
I
that
can't.
you
I
take.
can't talk about
Yeah,
it. There's
yeah.
there's actually no legal action over that. It's just mainly because I signed the contract, and you cannot do anything. Even if you're ripped off in your head,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can
Yeah.
do about a contract.
Nothing.
Like,
Yeah.
No,
and,
unfortunately.
and that's
it's
something
legally
that I would tell anyone that's starting out in music. It's just like don't let the money
Yeah.
carry your journey.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
I think it's a super
Yeah.
bad idea.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Because you probably created
Ideal.
music and you're like, I love this thing, and then you sold it to them, and now you don't get it anymore. Like, it's not
Exactly,
yours.
and
Yeah.
you're not even the owner of it, so you don't get to decide what you want to do and what you don't
Yeah.
want to do with it.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, you signed something, and there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about that.
Especially as a
Lesson
kid, because I'm
learned.
guessing you were still a kid at
Yes.
this time. Even 5 years after you snuck behind the stage, you're still 20 years old.
yeah,
You're
exactly.
still a kid. When I was 20 years old, again, like I had instincts that would tell me that this was right and wrong.
Yeah.
But I had other people telling me to do these things that I thought were not the right decisions. But I didn't know any better. I only had my instincts telling
Exactly.
me. And I did those wrong things, and I've lost out on those. You know,
Yeah.
and if I did follow my instincts, who knows where I'd be right now from a financial standpoint.
Yeah.
So this is a tale as old as time. You know,
Yeah.
it's a lesson that, you know, I wish that you could and all of us could give this message to young people.
Yeah,
You're smarter than you
Definitely.
think you are. You
Yeah.
know more than
Yes,
you think you do.
and especially like people that are maybe even if they're not young, but people that are starting out in the music industry.
Yeah.
It's just like I think the best attribute you have is what you create.
Yeah.
Don't give out your masters.
Yeah.
If it's a good deal, then give it to them if you trust them. But don't give it out.
Yeah.
No,
Like it's
bad
like
idea.
the one thing that ties you to your music is your masters. In fact, of if you get 800 plays in Spotify, which is fine, you know it's yours.
Yeah.
Like no one else can take that away from you.
That's a
Instead of a
validation.
record label giving you, I don't know, 5 million streams, and you know, like maybe it's mine, but I don't get to have credit for it.
Yeah, yeah. When people play that
Yeah.
song, it's somebody else's name on it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
heartbreaking.
just not a good deal.
Yeah. No, fair enough.
So, did you have any? So I guess right now with music, are you producing anything now that's out that's doing, like with your name on it, that's doing stuff out there?
Yes, I actually been producing for myself for the last like maybe 4 years, around that, like releasing my own music. So I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I cannot say it hasn't been good. Like I've done around like 10, 12 million streams, which is fine.
With your name,
with my name,
which is
like
amazing.
my own name.
Congratulations,
Incredible.
love
Great
that.
to hear.
Love that.
Wow.
Actually, the first song that I did was here in Vancouver.
Oh yeah,
So cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The first kind of big song I did was here in Vancouver. It was a school project actually, because at the time I was studying audio engineering.
oh yeah.
Yes.
And we had a project to make a song, and I was like, yeah, this sounds nice. And I ended up releasing it, and then I guess 4 years later we have 5.4 million streams
Crazy.
on Spotify,
Wow.
which is insane because it's a song that you don't market, you don't move.
Yeah, this is all organic traffic.
Like completely organic, and
Right.
it's just great. It's just
It's
great to
amazing.
see it.
Yeah.
Because you would, I mean, I don't know anything about you. I haven't seen anything. Do you have like a social media presence or
Not at all.
not at all?
No.
Okay, so
Not at
then
all.
so to
Interesting.
have something that has
Organic
that
growth.
much organic growth without
Yeah.
marketing, without social media presence, I mean that's huge.
That's
Yeah.
massive.
That's huge.
Yeah, I remember back then, she's actually here. I made the song with her.
Yeah.
And at that time, we were really scared when we put it out to think that, like, me and Gisela was his sister.
Yeah.
We used to think, like, it's not going to work. Like, it's maybe a song, but it's just
You have that
it's a
doubt.
song.
You're unsure.
And it was just like, at one point, we got to a conclusion and we were like, it's a good song.
Oh.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
a good song. It's not something that usually goes popular, but it's a good song. And literally, I think like a week after that, it started getting strength, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like getting 10,000 streams per day and
Wow.
growing. And EDM DJs like Hardwell were like putting on their playlists, and influencers. And it was just like, it's surreal to think about because we didn't ask for any help. We didn't get to see anything. We didn't spend anything on marketing. And if the song grows good, then it's probably a good
sure.
song.
Yeah,
Absolutely, without a
But nowadays
doubt.
that I listen to it, I think it's a bad song.
It's always a self-doubt
It's a good
that you
enough
have.
song.
it's not. I don't think.
Well,
I
enough.
don't think it's even a good enough. I just think it was a song that got lucky.
Yeah.
And that's it, I guess.
And sometimes it is like
I
that.
have a weird question because I'm just ignorant from this side of things because I've never spoken to anybody who's done that.
Yeah.
What you've come from, but because you were working with what would be considered AAA artists in the past, do you think that there are other AAA artists in the industry, or even like big artists in the industry that know who you are, that is keeping an eye on you? You think?
Yes, I hope.
Yeah.
At least that's the best you can hope for.
Yeah.
There's been a couple after that I ended up working with. I ended up working with David Guetta for 2 songs that already came out. I ended up working with Timmy Trumpet. The song didn't come out. I tried working with Swedish House Mafia last year, actually, a little bit like 5 months ago. Still didn't work out because it's just the music industry is always evolving.
For sure.
Let's say it.
Yeah.
And something that you do at one time and they may think it's good, after they work on it, then your mind might change. You're just like,
or even like the industry changes, the people's sound desire changes.
Exactly.
I've heard of so many people who start a song and have that sort of thing, and they go to the record label, they say yes, and then it's 2 years before it comes out, and then by the time
The whole
2 years
industry's
happens,
shifted,
everybody's on to the next bigger and better thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's like a big issue, but I think the best advice you could get on that is just don't take it personal.
Yeah.
It's not that the
Just
song
keep
is not
plugging.
Which
good.
is so hard.
It's just AAA artists, I guess you can call it that. They like to look for pretty big, like, hit. They're not gonna pay you to do something that it's not gonna always just return to them.
Right.
And that's pretty. I always say, like, treat music obviously with love and what you like to do, but it's still a business.
Yeah.
Of course. At
And
the
as
end
long
of the
as
day.
you know that, you are not going to take anything personal
For
because
sure.
it's just like they're looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which means
they have to.
it's more incentive for you to release and do music for yourself.
Yes, exactly.
That is the key. You know, it's gratifying, I'm sure, to even be considered to be working with people who are that large. But I think that's just reinforcement for you to know that you're on the right track. You're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and it takes
absolutely.
time, and it takes time to get, you know, like that change onto your life in terms of saying, I'm not gonna work with anyone anymore, and I'm gonna work on myself. Because at that point you realize, like, getting into that scene and making it, it's not easy.
It's
No.
also to be as big as some of the people that you've talked about is there's some luck involved there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you get used to it.
Yeah.
I almost wonder, is it worth it at the end of the day? I mean, obviously you're making music, you're doing what you love, you're getting paid to do it, but working with all these big, huge, massive names and artists, like when you're sitting here now, is it worth it to put your name, to put your music out there under somebody's name, or would you have just rather kind of gone your own route the entire time?
I think it's actually worth it.
It is? Yeah.
I think it's worth it. I think the
it'd be hella
experience is
fun.
one thing that you kind of learn about and you get used to it and you like it. And the experience goes both ways. It's either good or it's bad. But I think both things teach you
Of
either
course.
way. But the other thing is just if you put it in a retrospective way, like retrospectively, you're doing something that is gonna help your own music at the end of the day, and you do it for fun. Like I'm still that 14-year-old kid that started doing music and nowadays is still doing it
Yeah.
just because it's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the main reason that it works. I think that's.
I mean,
key.
everybody
That's
we
the only
talk
way
to
it's
keeps
gonna
saying
work.
the same thing, so it's
Yeah.
got to be true, you know?
Yeah, it's the key to
absolutely.
it. If you don't enjoy, I spent last year doing music for labels, and I didn't enjoy it, and I was not happy.
Yeah.
And I ended up having back in like July last year to take a break, and I'm actually back to making music maybe around a month ago, and I think that's it. I think if you enjoy it, it's fun. Like
Yeah.
I think Giselle can say that it's fun when you have fun doing it. When you enjoy it, that's when it's actually good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
If it's not good for you, then it's probably gonna be bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then it's not it. It's
That's
not
right.
for you. Move on. Next thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I guess the next thing for you, and if you would get yourself 5 years into the future, ask everybody this question, but get yourself 5 years into this future and look back at the 5 years that have gone past. What are you looking for, hoping to do, accomplish, make, produce, create, put out in the world?
I guess in the next 5 years, I'm looking to at least do two albums.
Ooh.
Like at least 20 song albums. Wow. That showcase what I want to do. I think I was in a bit of a rough as well last year when I was like, I like chill music, so like the lounge, kind of tropical style. But I also
Hanging out
like
with the beach music.
yeah, exactly. And I also like the melodic, more tech house.
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
The tech house like world, I love it. Both of them, I love it.
Yes, exactly.
So I think it's just a matter of how do I combine the both together, and I eventually got to this place where, I don't know, Giselle told me it was called melodic house or emotional house.
Emotional?
Emotional house.
I love that. Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
been starting to do it the more and more and more, and I think it's just a matter of time before I get the hang out of it.
Yeah.
I make songs, but I don't release them unless I think they're good to be released.
Yeah.
Until they're good enough.
So I'm at that point. I
Yeah.
think in 5 years, hopefully, I'm doing good in
Yeah.
that side. That it's a known artist like Laverne and Fred again, maybe.
I think it's inevitable at this point. I mean,
Absolutely.
you've proven that your music can be played on the stage
Yeah.
at the biggest level. So
For
You know,
sure.
It's just now a
Yeah.
matter
Thank
of as now a matter
Connecting
of
those dots
well, it's
and
just
getting there.
it's just now
Yeah.
a matter of attaching the music to this new brand you're going to
Yeah.
create instead of an established one.
Yes,
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
inevitable. It's just good patience, discipline, like you said.
Yeah. all those
hopefully
things.
that happens. Thank you for that confidence, but hopefully that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Well, we're rooting for you. We look forward
Thank
to
you.
seeing more
Yeah,
from
for
you.
sure, yeah.
We'll
Thank
have
you
to
for
get
talking
you
with us.
in the studio to chat more because there's 11 years in there that we can
Yeah.
only condense into 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Because we're here at Evolve Music Dance Event. But
Yeah.
thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting
you
with
so much.
us.
Yes.
And we will see you very, very soon.
Look
Yes.
forward to it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thanks for all the
Make
questions.
sure to
that's great,
follow down below and we'll see you all very soon.
Yeah.